Alright, in this video I want to talk about finding the components of a vector, and what we'll do in this case is we'll be given the magnitude and the direction angle, and from there we'll have to figure out the components. So the way typically I like to do these is just use a little bit of trigonometry here. So the idea is, okay, we've got a vector, it makes an angle of 60 degrees from the origin. So here's our angle of 60 degrees, and our vector has a magnitude of 8. So again, magnitude in these cases just correspond to the length of the vector. So really what I imagine is just making like a little right triangle, and what I'm trying to find is I'm trying to find the value for x, and I'm trying to find the value for y. The value for x will be the first component, and the value for y will be our second component. So recall for a triangle, so let's see, well, we've got 60 degrees, we've got 8, we've got y, we've got x. We're trying to solve for x and y. So again, recall for a triangle, I think we can use sine and cosine. So let's see, notice cosine of 60 degrees. Remember, cosine is the adjacent over the hypotenuse, so that'll give us x over 8. If we multiply both sides by 8, we'll get 8 cosine of 60 degrees is x. Well, let's see, cosine of 60 degrees, I believe cosine of 60 degrees is going to give us 1/2. So 8 times a half is going to be 4. So that's going to be the first, our first component. So the first component is simply going to have value 4. And we can do the same thing to figure out the y component. The second component, we can just do, well, sine of 60 degrees. Sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse, so y over 8. Again, we can multiply both sides by 8, so we'll get 8 times sine of 60 equals y. Sine of 60 degrees, that's just root 3 over 2. Well, 8 divided by 2 is 4. We'll get 4 root 3 as our value for y. So that'll simply be our second component for our vector here. So that's it. This original vector would have components 4, 4, square root of 3.